Me, Calgary Rambler, coming to you live for the third time today. Oh, I tell you. First off, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one and welcome, pardon me, each and every one of my new subscribers. Today, I got 6 new subscribers that joined my channel, and that's huge for me. My channel's never been to 312 subscribers before. I've been on YouTube for the better part of 6.5 years now, and most of my content has been vehicles and that type of thing. And there's been some walkabouts, around here in Calgary and da 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 da. But vehicles my big thing. And what do we do with vehicles? We drive them. So, just grab my drink here. Iced tea is so good. So what's happening here is a fellow YouTuber, shoutouts to Johnny Strides of Toronto. Pop over to his channel and take a look at it and subscribe there if you wish. He shows live videos of walking around the streets of TO, and he made over 1 million subscribers, or pardon me, well, let me start that again. He made his first 100,000 subscribers just by walking the streets of TO. Imagine that, eh? Did it in 2 years. I'm proud of that guy. And the power of people seeing these videos where you're going someplace from point A to point B it's something, I'll tell you. It's taken off worldwide. And in countries that allow this, like United States, Canada, Britain, Germany, etc., 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 people are doing it, and they are doing very well. I started watching videos like this years ago. 2016, I was watching a couple of young kids from Saudi Arabia, Dubai actually, and they had a channel, and they went viral. And it was just their day-to-day life and antics and silliness and that kind of thing. But over time, cars got involved, and Tall Guy Car Reviews, shout out to Corey Barrett. And Corey Barrett got the responsible ownership of Dodge SRT product vehicles. And I wrote to Tim Kaniskis, the former CEO of the SRT development group for Dodge, and pleading to him to give some accolades where it's due. I says, I understand you made a beautiful product. Absolute, yes. We're forever grateful to you, Mr. Kaniskis. But there were people out there who have been educating the public on proper, responsible vehicle ownership. And that's what Tall Guy Car Reviews did for, I think, 4 years. He bought the SRT Hellcat Challenger in 2016 in St. Paul, Minnesota, in the middle of winter, I might add, January. Fall months to buy a Hellcat. He bought it in January. That's balls of steel. 707 horsepower driving around on the streets. That's no small feat. The heck's in the middle of... okay, it's a sign. I thought it was... it's a telemarker, actually. I thought it was a cat or dog or something. I was like, no, don't hit it, Johnny. So, right now what I'm doing is I'm cooking up some Brussels sprouts. So you'll see me walk in front of the screen occasionally and walk back. I picked up some Brussels sprouts from the market the other day, and I've been dying for Brussels sprouts. I've got pork chops, I got Brussels sprouts, I got rice, And now I just need to get the Brussels sprouts cooked up. I'm cooking them right from frozen, and we'll see how they turn up. Yeah, we'll see if turn up. Hey, there's something I haven't had in a while either, and I've been really wanting to get some turnips cooked. Okay, well, I'll buy some turnips then next time. All right. So here we go. We're in Burlington, Ontario, backseaters, and we're this is not a pursuit. This is not a police officer. This is just a journalist. Okay. And I know this route that he's traveling. I've traveled this route many, many a times. This is in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. And he's approaching the Highway 401, or not even that. I don't think he'll go that far. Well, maybe he will. But he normally takes the Queen Elizabeth Way, the QEW. And that is a highway that goes between Hamilton and Toronto along the Lake Ontario. So we'll see what he does here. It'll be interesting to see. But it's a beautiful summer evening, and looks like, yeah. So to answer a particular viewer's question, he asked if I do any of a particular type of car video. I don't anymore. I stopped making those type of videos a long time ago, actually, about four years ago. And they're still probably on my feed if you have access to them. Great. But I won't be making those public anymore. I could, and you know, my subscriber count would probably kick up to about 100,000 people overnight. But it's not what I want to do. You know, it's not my kind of thing. So, not my niche. My niche is to show different areas of Canada, different areas of the United States. Last night, when all the new viewers showed up, they were from the Philippines. And Filipino people love seeing the different areas of the world. They love these driving videos in all different countries. So I was very privileged and very happy to welcome them on board as backseaters. And away we go. We are going to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We will be passing by the municipalities of Oakville, where I used to live, and Mississauga, Ontario. And then we'll be arriving in the west end of Toronto. It's about a 25-30 minute drive. So sit back, grab a cold drink from the fridge, and enjoy the ride. My camera is 1080 DP, but the screen that it's broadcasting from is 4K. Samsung 4K, actually. And the phone itself is a Samsung S23 that you're watching from. Ontario is such a beautiful place. This premier they have now has been spoiling these people rotten. He's been giving them everything he can possibly give them. Right to the point where the Prime Minister is saying, no new roads. Screw you, Prime Minister Trudeau. When the roads are necessary, they will be replaced. And these aren't perfect roads, but they're in pretty gosh darn good shape for about 6.5 years old. to Toronto we go. All right, we're leaving Burlington now. Looks like Burloak Drive, if I'm correct, where he's driving on now, and he's exiting and merging onto Highway 403 QEW eastbound. A lot of fun. It's good when somebody else is doing the driving. Although I am a driver, I love to drive. With the right car, it's awesome. Although my next vehicle I'm buying, my 2024 or 2025, I guess, Ford F-150, is a punch in the face to Dodge and their Hellcat series. Now, why am I doing this, you ask? It is because Dodge SRT products have been priced off the market, right out of the market. Next year in 2025, the only SRT product that they're offering, I'm told, is the Hellcat Durango. And Canadian, that's coming in at a minimum of $175,000 Canadian. It's a almost 10,000 pound Wally wagon. Well, it's slang for SUV station wagon. We all know what the Durango is. It's nothing special, you know. But the people at Dodge, Stellantis, I should say, as you probably heard in one of my earlier videos, they have been trying to upscale their brand artificially. And they figure by pricing the brand at around $100,000 plus for SRT products, and their trucks at a minimum of $65 and up $1,000 Canadian. They figured that they would win the war on that. Well, no, nobody bought anything. And in fact, I was watching earlier today a dealership in Waco, Texas called Samuel's Dodge Chrysler Jeep. They went out of business. And it's sad because in the 1960s, the owner, what was his first name? Joe? Joseph? John? Jim? I can't remember. But his last name is Samuels. Anyways, he started with a small little brokerage, and then moved up and got his first dealership. Then he started buying other dealerships and annexing them to his dealership. And that success line lasted right till he died 4 years ago of pancreatic cancer at the age of 89. And his legacy now is being chunked off and sold off. They had a bad time during the pandemic, and even worse time now. They can't sell what they have because everything's overpriced. So if you're down in Waco, Texas area, and maybe they'll have some deals, drop me a line. Let me know. I'd be curious to know what the pricing structure is now, because there's nobody there salesperson wise at their dealership. In fact, the lights are turned off. The cars are still there, but they have to liquidate everything, and that's not how it's supposed to go in a good world. So if you're just joining, what we're viewing right now is a drive from Burlington, Ontario to Toronto, Ontario, coming in on the eastbound Queen Elizabeth Way, QEW. I used to live in a town that's coming up here on the right-hand side called Oakville. And I lived there off and on for about 13 years. It was a good time in Ontario until times got rough. And then I moved out to Alberta, where I am now, where I'm broadcasting from. However, I made a decision to move back to Ontario for health reasons more than anything. Early in 2025. But that's not written in stone either. We'll see how things go. Okay, so we are in Oakville now. Johnny's making excellent time. We are going by Dorval Drive, which is one of the main arteries going into Oakville. But as we go further eastbound of Dorval Drive, you will pass on the right and left-hand side Ford of Canada. And that's where they make the Ford transit vans and that type of thing. And they do some parts and things for the F-250, F-350 series trucks. Oakville, Ontario, ladies and gentlemen. For many years, Oakville was known as Canada's richest town. It's not in that position anymore, as it's become more cosmopolitan, and Canada has diversified itself. So at the moment, I don't even know what the richest town or city is. I couldn't tell you. But I'm very pleased to see, since I left Oakville in 2007, that things have improved. And I'm looking at a very, very highly maintained highway here, okay? 6-lane highway, east and westbound. Westbound is coming towards us, and eastbound is going towards Toronto, where we're in the direction we're heading. And I'll tell you, I'm highly impressed. I'm highly impressed. You know, I miss it. I'm a social person. I love being amongst people, but here in Calgary, forget it. It's crackers. Crackers are more entertaining than the social scene here in this city. Not to rain on the parade of Calgary, because Calgary provides excellent employment opportunities. But that's what you come to Alberta for, is to work. Do we have work? Yes. Do we have work in the oil patch? Absolute yes. Do we have work on the rigs? We need you yesterday. To discuss with that a little bit, myself, I'm a, how many years I've been doing this now? I've been in the patch since 2000, so 24 years I've been off and on in the oil patch. I took some time off to take care of my my health, and provided my back stays okay, I'm going to go back into the patch for this winter, I think. But that's neither here nor there. We'll see how things progress. It's still very, very early in the season. Drilling is a oil drilling is a seasonal job here in North America, but not always so. Things have changed, and drilling is now becoming a 365/7 job, which is excellent. And if you work for the right employer, you can be anywhere in Canada drilling, basically. There's no slowdown for you if you don't want it to be that way. So there's Ford coming up here on your right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen. Ford and Lincoln plant. I worked at Ford's when I was home from the rigs, and my job was in quality control, painting dashboards and installing wiring harnesses and redoing brake lines that had messed up. And what else did I do? Oh yeah, in the electronic department, I had to get my Sigma 6 certification for that. But upon getting that, I went into the electronics department, which is on your left-hand side here, and I was working on the headlight assemblies for Ford F-250, 350 trucks. Beautiful, beautiful place to work. I can't say enough about it. Oakville, Ontario, ladies and gentlemen. Now you see that couple that's working on the side of the road there? It won't be long before they get assistance that'll pull over to help them. Once again, my shout outs to Johnny Strides for filming this earlier today. This was filmed Ontario time at about the same time that we are now here in Alberta. And it's evening there. It's going on to about 8:30, 9 o'clock. But it's a beautiful summer, late summer evening, and a perfect time for going for a drive. And I know Johnny loves to drive. He's like me. He's a driver. As many of you are too in the audience, I'm sure. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when my tongue will work. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just crossed into Mississauga, Ontario. Mississauga's population is about 1,200,000. Oakville being in at about 636,000 people, and about 336,000 people in Burlington. In Toronto, the population is roughly about 6 million people inside of the core in Toronto. When I lived in Oakville, I used to drive this road every day. I worked at Ford's, being one job, and one other job that I had, I worked at the airport for a number of years, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. And then my main occupation was out here and working on the oil rigs. I was working on the service rigs back then. Nice old limousine going by on the right side there. Old Ford Expedition. Yeah, traffic does bunch up. It gets busy, but much busier in the afternoons. But right now it's in the evening. There is construction that Johnny is approaching. And I'm hoping that they've figured out a way that things can flow much easier than what it did in the first couple of weeks, because it looked absolutely terrible. And that was back in, back in May, around the time of my birthday. Hey, look, shout outs to one of my former employers right there, the Commissionaires Security. There they are, right ahead of Johnny's car on the right-hand side. Commissionaires is a, when I joined, they were a group of former military soldiers that formed this security agency, it kind of a fellowship, brothership type thing. Now it's expanded all across Canada, and now hires not just military, but which is its number one employee hire, but it also hires all demographics of society. If you need a job, and if you're looking for work and flexible hours, that type of thing, need extra cash, need a side gig, give the commissionaires a call. 1-800-commissionaires.ca. Wow, what a beautiful night it is in Toronto. We're so blessed here. The weather's been so nice all across Canada. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, is a great time. If you were going to drive across Canada, leaving Toronto and going, say, to Vancouver, now would be the time to do it. Because this, right before the leaves start to change, it's the best time in Canada to do it. I've done it a couple times, and no regrets. I loved it. We are now entering the Port Credit area of Mississauga. I will say, Mississauga is starting to become more like Toronto in the sense that it is trying to adapt to become a 24-hour city, 24/7. 7 days a week now, but it wants to be 24 hours a day. Toronto, it's great. I mean, you can go grocery shopping at 11 o'clock at night. I love that. I miss it too, because Calgary, no. Calgary shuts down at 7 p.m. That's the big shocker here. You can just imagine what Johnny's saying right now. He's probably cursing out everyone, cutting him off, and the whole works. People darting from lane to lane in front of him. That's why I've got him on mute right now. And in a moment or so here, as we come around the S-curve here, we're going to come into the very west side of Etobicoke, which is Toronto. Yeah, they're blessed. I thought things were a lot worse than they were at some points. And I'm being educated. One thing that I always bitched about was the amount of potholes in this road were terrible. And you can see it's being redone all the time. This government, this premier, Mr. Ford, he won't let it get bad because he's a driver's driver too. I knew him many, many years ago, back in the 1980s when he was younger, much younger, and man in his early 20s. And back then he had mullet and driving his brother Rob, who passed away. He was the mayor of Toronto for a number of years. Rob, back in the 80s, was driving a Monte Carlo SS. Beautiful car, beautiful car. And Rob was doing the IROC Z, the Camaro IROC Z. And what was I driving? I was driving a Chevy truck. I had my Chevy. Watching, let me think. In the 80s, Chevy, then I went GMC. That's right. I went upscale. But my first truck was a Chevy Custom Deluxe. 1979. Didn't even come with a dome light. Funny to remember times back then, but sad at the same time because so much time has passed, you know. So they'd shoot out the collector's lanes and redoing those, it looks like. And we are in the express lanes, all bunched up. Alrighty, we're coming up to here, Ontario and South Service Road, Quathra Road, 2 kilometers. So we're almost into Toronto, friends. We are almost into T.O. 416 area code. And the drivers drive like they always have, been patient in TO, always. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll tell you, folks, the attitude has changed because the police go to sleep too. And in Canada, when the police are sleeping, the boys are going to go out and play. Boy, oh boy. You figure I would have got that out of my system. Well, who am I to talk? I'm buying a 2025 Ford F-150 Coyote V8 engine, 2-wheel drive, regular cab, 6.5 foot box with 373 rear gears. I'm going to put a Whipple supercharger on it, bringing the horsepower all the way up over 700 horsepower, aka middle fingers wicked out to SRT Dodge. Because this thing will eat Hellcats all day long. Case in point, this morning I was looking at a local auction that we have here in town, and one of their feature vehicles is a 2015 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat, 707 horsepower, with only 4,000 kilometers on it. And the asking price is $65,000. So I called in and I talked to the head auctioneer. I know him. He and I go way back to the days when I first arrived in Calgary full time in 2007. And he doesn't mince words. He just put it out there. He says, he's selling it to my Ford F-150. I said, aha, I knew it. I says, he's going to get a regular cab, isn't he? And the auctioneer says to me, he says, how did you know? I says, because there's a cult following after this particular type of truck. I says, it's almost an entry-level vehicle. XL trim. And other than cloth seat, alloy wheels, I guess some other options, small options. There's not a lot offered. It's just bare bones vehicle, but it's all performance in the way it's set up as a regular cab and V8 engine with 373 gears, and you can bolt on a supercharger right away without voiding the warranty. Now, if you go underneath the hood and start monkeying around with stuff like a lot of these yahoos who bought the SRT products are concerned, then you'll get the same thing that happened with Dodge. They're going to void your warranty, okay? But if you leave it alone, leave it to your trusted Ford technician to do the work. You won't have any issues at all. Have fun roasting your tires. So yeah, back in the days, I was heavily into street racing. I raced up and down this highway here. I won't lie. You probably figured it out already, but yes, I did. I raced up and down this highway. I came up this QEW from Dorval Drive, which is behind us, about 36 kilometers behind us, and I came all the way up here to Cothra, which we're coming up on now, and I was doing about 240, 260 kilometers an hour on my motorcycle at different times of the night. So yeah, I'm not totally an angel, guys. You want an angel? Ain't got it in me. I'm a good guy though. Oh yeah. But I like to have fun too, just like every other guy out there. If it's the right vehicle, bonus. Okay, I'm going to be back in a few seconds here. You can watch all these crazy Toronto antics going on here. Impatient drivers like this guy in the gray Beamer up ahead here. Bipping from lane to lane here. He's now stuck behind the 18-wheeler. And he doesn't like that. He's got an SUV on his left side and a wall on his right side. So he's kind of stuck. That's one of the reasons why Johnny hangs back, is because so many people are darting around it. He doesn't want to get tagged. And Johnny's a good driver, so. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. All right, let's check these out. How are we doing here? There we go. All right, that's done. Okay. Okay, coming into the Gardner extension. Now you see where these people are branching off? Well, that's my old turnoff there to head to the airport. Oh, those were the days. Can only go back to 2003, 2005. Those are good years. Really good years. Still stunned I paid $32,000 for my my motorcycle. My Hayabusa, brand new. My Hayabusa 1300R that I bought brand new in 2003. What a beautiful bike it was, but extremely high asking price for the 1300R series. But it was a race bike right out of the box. You didn't have to do anything to it, didn't have to tune it or anything. It was all ready to go. And It treated me well. It's now sitting in the garage of my 85-year-old father's house. He likes it, so and I don't ride it anymore because my back is all gibbled. So oh wow, look at that car in the right side there, Austin Healy. Shout outs to that guy, whoever he is. He's doing all right. That's a new building on the left side. Coming up in Kipling Avenue in Toronto. And this is Toronto right ahead of us, ladies and gents. Right ahead of the nose of that beetle. Such a big city. But a beautiful place to be. We're going to drive through the downtown. As far as I know, Johnny Strides will take us through. Unless he decides he's going to take the East or West Mall and 427 and shoot across. We'll see what he does here. If he takes the 427, it bypasses the downtown entry points. And he lives close to the northern end of downtown. So, man, a lot more buildings are up than were there when I lived there, I'll tell you. Boy, oh boy. There's the police pulling over a van. I love this point of the drive. It looks like you're going up into the heavens. I don't know why. All these buildings on the right-hand side and just ahead of us are all brand new. This whole bank of buildings here, all brand new. They weren't there when I lived in the Toronto area. Rule of thumb, if you're changing lanes, you want to do it quickly. You want to make sure you hit the gas hard. You saw how fast some of these cars were going by. One part on your car that you're always going to be going through is brakes. Always. In the city. You're going from 120 kilometers an hour all the way down to zero. Real fast. And when there's not much there for traffic, to get around a lane that may be slowed down, you hit the gas pretty hard. So your engine will have no carbon in it. I guarantee you that, living in Toronto. Well, the Brussels sprouts are coming along. I checked them and added some olive oil and that type of thing. So we'll see how well they turn up. If they are bitter again, I read somewhere a simple thing to do is just to if you take them out of the freezer and you cook them from frozen. Cook them for about 15-20 minutes and then take them off the heat. Put them in ice cold water for about 2 or 3 minutes and then put them back in the heat. And apparently that does away with the bitterness. I haven't tried that tonight though. I'm doing a different method. I will say this though, watching the drivers here, they're better in Toronto than they are in Calgary. I think Calgary got all of Toronto's lame-ass drivers. Because people will come into the merge lane, which is the lane on the right-hand side, and just park there. And just park there with the signal going. And I seen that the other day, and I had to avoid quite the maneuver to avoid an accident. But I don't see anybody parked in the right lane this time. Nope. People are doing what they should be doing. Yeah, that's it, Johnny. Let them merge over. Nice Lincoln, too. Mark 7. Huh. It's an SUV. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. Whoa. Lane splitting. Hey, buddy, you're not in Los Angeles. You're not allowed to do that here in Canada. In any province or territory. That is illegal. And another one doing it. Huh. Wow. They must have become more tolerant of lane splitting with motorcycles. Yeah, I like the way Johnny drives. He drives a lot like me. You know, it gives lots of space between him and the car in front of him. And it saves for accidents or anything like that. Well, I guess Johnny is going through the downtown, by the looks of it, which is A-OK. What's this guy doing with his 4 ways on? If you're just joining us, we are watching a pre-recorded feed, former live feed, I should say, by a fellow YouTuber, Johnny Strides. He's on his way to Toronto. We're just in traffic right now on one of the feeder highways, excuse me, called the QEW, Queen Elizabeth Way, eastbound. This is a route I've taken thousands of times myself. Oh, let me get some iced tea into me. There we go, that's better. Okay. Parkside Drive. We're going by Parkside Drive. Okay. Thought that truck was going to hit that car for a second there. Brand new Ford Ranger. Wouldn't want to see that get wrecked. Lanes reduced. Jameson to Strawn. Okay. Alright. That's the Gardner Expressway improvement that's going on, because we are now, at this point of this overpass here, we are now entering onto the Gardner Expressway now. That's what they call it. And it's no longer the QE2. Gardner Expressway is a semi-scenic highway that goes around the downtown area of Toronto. And at night, let me tell you folks, it is a beautiful sight. Driving down that from the 401, which is to our north, where we are right at this point in the video. Driving from the north of Highway 401 along the Gardner, you get to a point where you can see the entire downtown, and at night, in the summertime, oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. The Gardner is a elevated highway at various points, and one point going through the downtown, it's about I'm going to guess about 85 feet above the lower asphalt, I guess you could say, because it's an elevated bridge deck, and it's a beautiful view, absolutely gorgeous view. I like it better going from east to west, but everybody each to their own, I guess. Gosh, the last time Johnny drove this route, gridlock wasn't an issue. That was back in Easter. And here we are. Summertime. Lakeshore Boulevard and Jameson Avenue. Yes, I remember turning off there. But it doesn't look like Johnny's going to at this point. He could, but no. If you're just joining us, my name is Calgary Rambler, and I'm a YouTuber. I've been a YouTuber since 2016. I mostly vlog car videos and that type of thing. But in the last little while, I've changed it up a bit. And I've done some walking videos of the city that I reside in, called Calgary, Alberta. And doing some driving videos too. Got those on my feed. And tonight's feed is Johnny Strides, a fellow YouTuber who's on his way back from Burlington, Ontario. He's in Toronto right now, and he's just heading home. So we're going to get to see the downtown of Toronto here pretty soon, in short order. Just wondering if he's going to switch lanes here, coming up in Spadina in 3K. Surprised he didn't jump over onto Lakeshore, but I guess not this time. I've driven this same route many, many, many times. Thousands of times, actually, going both directions. And it's changed through gentrification. It's gotten better, actually, than what it was years ago. After Johnny gets on the Yonge Street, which is probably the way he's going to do, next juncture going off, we'll take him off to Yonge Street, I think, next major one anyway, and then he will go north on Yonge Street, and you'll get to see the downtown as it is today. This was just filmed within the last 2 to 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a brand new recording. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe. I'll be doing a lot more live feeds like this. It's actually easier to do a live feed than to record and upload, I'm finding. And it's perhaps a bit slower to grow a channel. But what I'm doing eventually here... Oh, there's... Before I continue, look ahead of you here at the upper part of your screen, or on top of that black vehicle with the left turn signal on, you'll see the CN Tower. Canada's CN Tower. Yes, that signifies we're getting closer to the downtown area. And I'm actually, it's been so long since I've done this drive, I forgot we're actually still about 2 about 2 miles out from where we need to be. I guess I'm not used to being in gridlock. I forgot what a timeline was like, but we actually got a few more main drags to cross before we get to where we have to turn off for Yonge Street, because you can see the CN Tower. It's right there. So and we follow it north to Eglinton. So Yonge at Eglinton, that's where we're headed. Attaboy, Johnny. God bless you, man. You're a good driver. Got 2 people in. That's great. No problems with any accidents with Johnny, I can tell you that. Exhibition Place. What's going on there on the billboard? Let's take a look and see anything. Advertisements. Beaconfield. Okay. All right. Cool. So that's the CN Tower, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming up on here. And it's a beautiful, beautiful evening in Toronto. Sun's just set, or is right on that nick where it's about down in Toronto right now. Out here where I'm at, it is still daylight, and we got about 45-50 more minutes of daylight before the sun is gone. So today's high in Calgary was a very balmy 80 plus degrees. And I don't think it was much different in Toronto, actually. I think Toronto was likewise with temperature. Okay, here we go. It's opening up now. Construction's going. Now people are going to pick up speed. Yeah, here we go. Now you can see the downtown, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't this gorgeous, eh? It's changed so much since I moved away in 2007. Hey, slow down there, Tesla driver. He's going to... No, he's not going to Spadina. Okay. Look at this. All these condominiums and stuff right close to the bridge. Like this. This is the elevated bridge deck I was telling you about, ladies and gentlemen. It's about 80 feet above Lakeshore Boulevard at some point. And yeah, it's being restored as we speak. This is nice. Okay, yep. Heading down. We're off the Gardner now, and we're heading down to York North. Keep left, yes. Okay, Johnny. It's going to take us down this way, and we are going to bip over. Now you're going to get a treat of seeing the downtown Toronto. Okay, enjoy the ride. All right. I used to love coming down here in my police car back in the day. That's what I drove back then. One of the vehicles I had was a Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor back in the day, and that was a good car. Great highway car. It made my little Civic jealous, I'll tell you that. Crossing over Bay Street. We're in the financial district right now, ladies and gentlemen. And we're just about to bip north on Yonge Street, like I mentioned to you. Hopefully you're enjoying this feed. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Welcome to the feed if you just joined. My name is Calgary Rambler. And today's feed is being brought to you by Johnny Strides, who lives, eats, works in Toronto, Ontario, where I used to, my old stomping grounds, where I used to live. Well, I was in Oakville, but I was always in Toronto. I worked up the street, actually. You heard me mention that I worked with a company called Commissionaires. I did some shifts with them, and their office is just up Yonge Street here. So this is the Gardiner Expressway above our heads here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we just went under. And this is the CNR tracks that are above our heads now. And to our left is the CN Tower. There we go. Can't see it, unfortunately, on video. He didn't pan as he's driving this vehicle right now. But Johnny Strides does walkabouts all over this whole downtown area. Please pop over and view his channel if you think of it. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this this live. It's a lot of fun. I'll tell you, I love it when Johnny does drives and going into the downtown. But Toronto has gone through some massive gentrification in the last 16 or so years. And it's so much better than what it was when I lived there. I'll tell you, I wasn't happy with things were almost crumbling back in 2007. And I thought, Toronto, stinkhole. Not a great city. I wasn't happy with it back then. And that was my opinion back then. But thanks to modern day media, thanks to people like Johnny Strides who have shown extensively the upgrades in Toronto. And I am so totally, utterly impressed. I want to get back. I really do. I know it's a lot more expensive to live there. Yes, I know the cost has risen. But this is what it is when you live in a big city, okay? It's always expensive. And when you go through gentrification, the costs need to go somewhere. They won't stay the same. It won't be the bottom of the basement budget type environment anymore. It's going to be a lot more costly to live there for a while. And this is just the way it is in Toronto right now. I don't mind, though. I've got a means to an end in that one. So, and I've got friends that live there, and they're surviving very, very, very well. They're doing exorbitantly well, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you hear about the cost of living and how are people able to afford it and da-da-da-da-da. Well, in some cases, yes, absolutely. Depends when they bought their houses or when they got to Toronto and how they base themselves, you know. There's different ways to go about it, and not every single way is going to work out, you know. And there'll be other ways that work out perfectly. So it just depends on your situation. But when I was there, Toronto always treated me good. And I miss it. I do. I want to get back to it. It's time. When I left, I was 37 years of age, and I'm 54 now, so I'm not that old. I'm actually in pretty good shape. And Toronto would give me what I need for health care and moving forward as I age, and would supply me with services that I love and desire. My life here in Calgary is, well, you see it, you know, outside of going to the rigs and that kind of thing. this is it, guys. This is it. I haven't done a heck of a lot else, you know. When I'm not producing and making videos, I'm out there. I want to start doing videos on the rig to show you the pride of Western Canada. I really do, you know. But my company that I was hired on with, they were bought out by another big conglomerate. So I'm back down to ground zero again. Almost speaking. Not totally, but almost. And I got to build up that knowledge base and learn their equipment and their standards and policies and things like this. So it'll be a little bit before I can really stomp forward. And once I get the okay to do it, there's Queen Street and it's blocked off. Anyway, once I get some leeway, if they allow it, then I will start videoing the rig. And so far all you've had is some pictures of the older rig that I was on with the other company, and the big steer walking by, and the other deer that went by outside of the lease. So, all right. So Johnny's just adjusting his camera, giving the 5-minute notification that he's going offline. So I'm going to go offline now, but you all have an amazing evening. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll promise to bring you more videos like this. I gots to. This is great, you know, absolutely great. It's easier to do a live feed than it is to record and edit and all that stuff. It's so much easier to do a live feed, and I enjoy it a lot better than doing it the other way. So, okay, my friends, I'm going to end it here. Johnny's not far from home. I can see his building in the distance. So, how do I leave you? Remain happy. Smile. Enjoy life. Okay, take care. Godspeed. God bless. Love you all.